Whiting here with another unbiased, in-depth gear review. And in this video, I'm reviewing the Perception Showdown 11.5 fishing kayak. Now, the Showdown is a pedal kayak, but I'm a paddler. I've paddled for more than 30 years. I don't have that much experience pedaling, but I've had enough experience pedaling to really develop an appreciation for pedal kayaking and the advantages it provides, in particular for kayak angling. And so I'm going to take the paddle hat off, put the pedal hat on, and give this thing a good testing. But before I get it on the water, let me tell you a bit more about the Showdown. The Perception Showdown 11.5 has a retail price of $2,129 US. It's 11 feet 6 inches long. It's 36 inches wide. It weighs 90 pounds or 41 kilos, and it has a capacity of 450 pounds or 204 kilos. The Showdown features an elevated framed seat, a junk drawer under the seat, double barrel rod holders on both sides, 4 heavy-duty handles, 2 at each end and 2 at the sides, and the side handles double as gear tracks for adding accessories. It has a removable and portable bow storage pod, and the stern tank well has bungees and is crate ready. And of course, it has a rudder with hand control. Well, I am literally mesmerized by this kayak. But let's see how it does on the water. Let's go. Woo-wee. All right, so this paddler just did 2 hours of pedaling for you to give you the scoop on the Showdown 11.5. And here's what I can tell you. Well, first of all, what I can tell you is that before you go pedaling for 2 hours on a beautiful blue sunny day, put sunscreen on your legs or else you're gonna feel the way I do right now. Other than that though, let's talk about the portability of the Showdown 11.5. This is a 90-pound kayak. Now, that's a lot. That's not a lot for a fishing kayak necessarily. I mean, there's some fishing kayaks out there that weigh 120 plus pounds. So 90 pounds is not crazy by any means, but it's still a lot. Moving this thing around, well, you really should consider a kayak cart. And if not, well, you should have some strong buddies. You probably want to have a trailer that you can tow behind your vehicle, and even boat launches that you can just trailer right down so you don't have to drag or carry the boat very far. If you do, a kayak cart is a really good idea. But, you know, like I was saying, it's 90 pounds is a lot of weight, but it's not ridiculous for a fishing kayak and for all the stuff that this has on it. So now let's talk stability. But before I do, a quick shout out and mention about the ACA online safety course. I've mentioned it in other gear reviews and I'm gonna mention it again right now. They have a free online program you can do at your own convenience, and that small investment of time can make the absolute world of difference in your life, because the reality is, as beautiful as this environment is, when you're on the water, if things do go wrong, they can go very wrong. And with some knowledge, a little bit of extra knowledge, safety knowledge, can make the world of difference. Take the time, go to americancanoe.org. I'll leave a link in the description box down below to the safety course. It's free. Do it at your own convenience. Don't be foolish and not do it. Now, how does it paddle? Well, first of all, we'll talk about stability. It's a very stable kayak. This kayak was designed to be a stable platform to fish from, and it has done that job wonderfully. The seat is very high. Center of gravity is very high right now, which is awesome for fishing. You get great view of the underworld here. You can see cover and structure very easily from this vantage point, and there's no feeling of instability whatsoever. Standing up, because I'm, almost and in a high sitting position, standing up is really easy. Just push off, stand up. I even got up without pushing off at all. That's really nice too. And when you're standing, it feels rock solid. So it's stable, 100%. This is a stable platform. It's what you'd expect from a 36-inch wide kayak, what you'd hope for, I should say. Of course, the trade-off, it comes with performance. And typically, when you have a very wide kayak that's very stable, flat, you lose speed, you lose performance, and that's exactly what happens with the Showdown. No big surprise there. Nobody has found the secret or the magic potion that can make a super wide, flattened, rock solid, stable kayak a torpedo in the water. It hasn't happened yet, and I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. So no, it's not a fast kayak. The pedal drive system works great. It moves it pretty darn well considering how big and wide and relatively slow the boat is. Now for maneuverability, 11.5 kayak tip, well, you can expect it to be quite maneuverable. It's not a long kayak, and so it probably is going to turn well, and this does turn well, but it turns well with the help of a paddle. The steering system alone, the pedal drive and the steering system, doesn't turn this kayak very fast. It doesn't have a really sharp turning radius. It doesn't respond super quick to the steering handle. It's not what I'd call a nimble kayak. It's a big kayak. Again, that's a symptom of being a big kayak that's moving a lot of water around. And so what I found is when I needed to move quick, I brought out the paddle to help me steer the kayak, to help me turn. That's not such a bad thing, because at the same time, when you stand up in a fishing kayak, a pedal kayak, you kind of need the paddle to maneuver. If you have to maneuver at all, you can't just stand and pedal. So having a paddle at the ready to help your steering out is not a deal breaker. You kind of expect to do that. I expect to do that on pretty much any fishing kayak. I bring a paddle on any pedal fishing kayak. Comfort. Another beautiful suspension seat, love it. My butt feels great, even with all the pedaling that I'm doing. The back support is really nice on this one. It's got nice low lumbar support as well. When you kick this thing back too, man, you could have a nap on this kayak. That's good. Not only is the seat comfortable, but it's such a stable platform. There's no weeble wobble or anything like that. So comfort is high. Now let's talk about features. There's a few in particular that I want to talk about. Well, let's start with the pedal drive system. The pedal system is actually, I'm very impressed. It's smooth. It's easy to pedal. There's no jerkiness. I like it. You can go forward and reverse, and they both work quite well. One thing to note about the pedal system is it doesn't kick up. So it's pretty much locked in that position. So if you hit something, you're hitting something, and that pedal drive system is going to take the brunt of it. And so definitely a pedal kayak to stick to not shallow, rocky rivers or that kind of water. You could do some damage pretty quick on this machine if you hit rocks hard. The bow storage unit, I really like it. I think it's a really cool feature. What I particularly like is the removable nature. This is a unit that you can pull out, you go into your garage, you put the tackle, the stuff whatever fishing gear you want into it, and then when you get to the water, you just plop it into the kayak. And then at the end of the day, you pull it out and it's self-contained. I like that removable bow compartment, the bow pod. The gear tracks on the side, nice feature. They double as the handles, and that's just smart. Because if this was a paddle kayak, you wouldn't want to have gear tracks right there because that's where your paddle's going to be going. But for a pedal kayak, you can use this space. You can add accessories here. Now, this is an optional add-on that they have, and I really like this thing. This lashes down both on the inside and outside, and it it's basically just a storage, a soft-sided storage unit fits a Plano tackle box. Just great, easy, quick access. This is exactly where you want it. Not only that, I found myself as like almost like just a nice hand rest while I'm cruising around and steering on the left-hand side. So this is worth it. I'm not sure exactly what the upgrade cost on this unit is, but I would say it's worth it. Otherwise, rod holders, I didn't get to test the rod holders because I don't have rods. But yeah, it's great to have, you have 4 rod holders in total here, 2 on each side. Typically, most kayak anglers will have a crate that have rod holders as well. So, I mean, you carry a lot of rods with all of this setup. The only feature that, you know, I'm not particularly sold on is the junk drawer here. It's just, you know, it's a little flimsy. There's not a lot of space actually because of the cover for the pedal drive system here. So it, you know, it's a junk drawer, but nothing to write home about, that's for sure. Now, overall value. Is this thing worth the real price tag on it? The $2,230 US. That's a chunk of change. The answer is, well, it could very well be worth it to you, and it could very well not be worth it to someone else. It really is a specific market that would really value this kayak, and the market that do value this kayak would really value this kayak. This kayak provides great value. Now, pedal fishing kayaks, man, they can really range. They range from around $1,600 is the cheapest one that I know of, and they go right up to $5,500. So at $2,200, it's hard to argue that compared to all those other fishing kayaks, this offers great value. Now, you are paying a hefty premium for this pedal drive system, any pedal drive system. You're also paying a very real premium for the seat, for the bow pod, for the amount of plastic in this boat. There's 90 pounds of plastic almost in this thing, and that's the nature of high-end fishing kayaks. High-quality fishing kayaks they're expensive. So yes, it's expensive, but it's good value. I cannot complain with the price of this thing for what you get. And so now, who is this kayak for? Well, it's a pretty specific person, and there's lots of you out there who, A, want a pedal drive system. You understand and appreciate, like I do, the value of a pedal system for a fishing kayak. It leaves your hands free to fish, whereas if you have a paddle, you got to manage your paddle and your rods at the same time. It's tougher. There's no doubt about it. It's tougher. You pay a premium for a pedal drive system, but it is a more fishable system. It's also for someone who really is committed to kayak fishing, who really wants a platform for fishing. You give up performance in order to have fishability, and that's the reality of the Showdown and most fishing kayaks. I'm going to end it right there because, well, I'm getting chewed on by mosquitoes. It's that time of the season and the wind just laid right down and they're coming out. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Paddle TV if you haven't already, and stay tuned for lots more paddling tips, gear reviews, and paddling adventures.